Good morning everyone, it's Aditi here and today we are going to read about a chapter of G.K.Chesterton on running after one's hat. In this essay, Chesterton tried to be optimist. Even in hardship, he managed to find happiness. He describes that destructive scene as natural scene. For him, flood is gift of nature and he wants to enjoy it in same way. But alas, he is away from country and had come there to enjoy and lead a quiet life for some time. His own native town Battersea is witness of rising water and the area is fully affected by flood, and even this situation charms the narrator most. Chesterton says, after London has been flooded with great sheets of water, but they are adding gorgeous appearance, which is now incomparable waterscape or landscape. Battersea, his own town, must be looking like Venice. Venice is name of city in Italy, which is surrounded by sea, and import-export business is done there. Now imagining Battersea as Venice, he says that boat that brings meat from birches must have shot by smooth waves of water, which occur due to flooded sea. He imagined that boat must be moving like gondola, a very light-weighted boat, because a boat which carries meat moves very slowly, but it's the beauty of flood which makes the boat move like gondola. He again says, the greengrocer which brings cabbages to the end of Lanchmead Road must be leant upon the oar. And he further adds, whatever I say is not so poetical as an island is, but when district is flooded, it becomes an archipelago, means with many islands. Now, because the land has become a place with many islands, it can be defined romantically as well as poetically. It is our attitude and imagination which makes particular object or happening as good or bad. That is why a destructive force also we can peep a ray of hope and happiness. The fact is not denying. There are some incidents where real pain is found and we feel it as human beings. The case of fire, which is burnt in some place, is real pain. In same way, toothache also irritate us much. But these short examples are not as usual happening. They are only exceptions. Such incidents by chance happen after a very long span of time. There are incidents when men curse them and women outcried loudly. But if we go deep into the matter, we will come to know that this type of gesture from men and women are their own feeling and mirror of their personality. That is why natural happening or bad or good is only due to subjective feelings of these people, and the object has no role of providing good or bad. The whole phenomena is concerned with mind and personal feelings. Some pessimists consider such beautiful and romantic view of flood or fire as obsession. But by doing this, they are lacking in reality. They are unable to notice positive side. For him, romantic view of inconvenience or problem is practical as others, and other people should take them practically like other problems. For him, flooded London is not a big issue. The true optimist is one that who sees such problem and such things as an opportunity for enjoyment, and this is logical as well as very much sensible. These lines, when he says, are in dedicated tone full of optimist view. If a man is in righteous path and his body is saturated with zeal and possibility, then such man will run after his hat with full capacity, and all this activity will be done in a joyous mood. The activity is similar like cheerful and blessed hunter chasing after wild animal. For dedication and devotional fellow, hat chasing is game, the game which is full of amusement and accommodation. The narrator sees all good possibility in running after and pursuing for his hat. For him, this can be treated as nice game for the purpose of enjoyment and entertainment. All these make good favors to his activity. Running after the hat to be included in his sports, even in some time in future. And a windy day will be beyond any any doubt be plus point for this, a very loving animated game. We often hear grown-up people complaining about railway station being trapped on railway stations and waiting for train. Now, do you tell me, you heard a little boy complaining about being trapped on railway station waiting for train? No, because for him, to be inside a railway station is like to be inside a cave of wonders, to be inside the cave of surprises, and a place however he wants to imagine that. For him, red and green light are like people who just stand there with no emotions and imaginations, waiting for the train. But for sure, their meditation must be full of fruitful things. The narrator says many of his purple hours or happy hours of his life has been passed at Calvin Junction, which is now under the water. He had been there in many moods, good and bad. Sometimes he got so engrossed in thinking or enjoying the moment that he failed to notice that water welled up till his waist. But for him, despite all the annoyance which he mentioned above, his imagination and way of contemplating the things depend upon emotional point of view. And he says that you can safely apply this test on anyone, and you will come to know that our point of view depends upon emotional status. Sometimes let us consider that it is unpleasant to run after one's hat. But why should be it unpleasant with a well-ordered and pious mind, just only because we have to run and running exhausts a person? But the same people who says like that running exhausts one and we should not run after one's hat runs much faster in other sports. The same people run even more faster after little leather ball. It is insulting to run after one's hat, and when the poet says it is humiliating, it means it's comedy. It is certainly comedy, but that very man who humiliates running after one's hat is also comic. His every action is comic. Last, when narrator saw an old man running after his hat in Hyde Park, told him how his gesture and body attitude is giving unaffected pleasure to the coward. In the same way, if a gentleman tries to took a cork out of glass wine or took a fly out of a milk glass, it irritates them. Then they should make themselves calm rather than getting irritated. And for some time, they should sit in a peace and immediately give a response to their work. They will get success in their work. He knows many people of modern thinking who keep distracted by silly things. For example, a drawer was jammed tight and they failed to pull it out. One author's friend was affected in this way. Every day his drawer was jammed and every day he gets irritated by struggling for opening it. He says that he gets irritated just because every day he assumes that the drawer will come out easily. Instead of assuming that, he should think like he is pulling against one of his powerful enemy. By assuming this way, his struggle will become really very exciting and surprisingly unfrustrating. After this, narrator gives him more of his optimistic imagination. He told him that he should think as if he tugging out lifeboat out of sea. He should imagine you are lifeboat boy again and engaged between tug of war between French and English. And after giving him explanation, the narrator left his friend. Now he has no doubt that every day his friend will do that very job with happiness and excitement, and he will not get frustrated again and again. Chesterton is a firm believer that every cloud has silver lining, so things are bound to improve. The flood scene of London has suburbs should not treated only imaginary and was miracle. There lies some untiling of the situation, but have to think positive and in right direction. We should not peep into destructive forces alone of these flood manians. They are not violent madness in themselves. They have some very accomplished attitude as well. They are gratifying the pleasurable also for human being. Doubtlessly, they are cause of some inconveniences to us. But on the whole, by seeing through the optimistic glass, we went them benign and restorative. So inconveniences only bother some point, and all others are the plus point, an aspect of lucrativeness. So the whole matter lies in temperament as how we see the situation. It is rightly said, there is nothing good or bad, but thinking make it so, and unto pure things are pure. The water that encircle the shop and houses of London have only increased their fanaticism from previous one. But for native of London, it is like a statement of Roman Catholic priest in a story, who said, "Wine is good with everything except water," and on the similar principle, water is good with everything except wine. Means water dilutes the wine, and when wine is added in water, it affects the purity of water. It makes the water impure. And here he compared water with flood of London and wine with London city itself. With this, narrator closes the chapter. Now we can see the optimistic views of the narrator. In the flood, he tries to find happiness